I can feel the walls of the movie archive. Do you want to call it an archive or a library? What do you reckon?
Good question. Archive, I think.
Okay. Feel the walls around me. I can...
Yeah, I'm starting to get a sense of it.
Smell the DVD cases. Uh-oh.
Ooh, this is quite expensive.
Sam? Hello? Can you hear me? It's really dark in here.
I can just hear you? Where are you?
I don't know, but it's like... I kind of feel like I'm back in the delirium. It's a bit chilly down here. And can you hear dripping water?
No, I just hear your voice echoing in the distance.
Oh, okay, hold on. I think I found something. Hang on. Oh yeah, there's an old oil lamp here. Hang on, let me get that going. Okay. Oh, there's some shelves here. I can see some DVDs.
Okay, what is it?
Oh dear.
What is it?
I think it's the dungeon.
The dungeon?
Where movies that are a crime to film are locked away and should never see light of day.
Oh my god! Is there an exit?
I don't know, but how often am I going to end up here? I'm just going to have a quick look. Hold on. What we got here? Oh, Batwoman. Oh, there you go. Hang on. A lot of these older ones have had the titles scratched off them. I've got something. What's this? Solder?
Solder?
Solder. Oh, hang on. There's more. Get some of the dust off this. Solder of umber?
What the fuck?
I don't know. But it wouldn't be down here if it didn't deserve to be.
I guess not.
Maybe movies. Happy Friday, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to Maybe Movies.
Howdy ho!
My name is Max, and I'm joined as always by my good friend Sam, and we are jumping into the second half of our movie matchups for the month, which we are now looking at Charlton Heston as the detective Thorn from Soylent Green, being dragged back to the 70s to face the Antichrist.
Dun dun dun!
Oh, I love it. This is going to be a fucking nightmare. But yes, so in our new vision of Damien Omen Part 2, which, thanks to our friend Jen, who suggested this one to us, is now going to be called Green Omen.
Green Omen.
No onions in sight. Anyway, before we do that, we're going to do a very quick shout out. This is actually for Sybil, who I mentioned the other day.
Of course.
Friend of Jen's, who's a great supporter on the channel, and obviously a content creator herself. She seems to post a lot of pop culture stuff.
Right.
So it seems to be quite a wide variety of things. It looks like there's like short sort of interviews and stuff from like the Tonight Show in the States, things like that, and music videos and all those kind of wonderful things as well. So,
little bits and pieces of life.
Yeah. So thank you, Sybil, for all your support, and as always, keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Guess where we are again?
In the messy Act 1.
No, we're in Chicago again.
Oh, we are. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, we are. Or near it, at least.
So, I'm guessing we get the same opening with
Bugenhagen,
which is
Egelswall.
Which is a wonderful name.
Yeah, it's a great character name. Normally, we would go straight to them getting ready to leave to go to their next
semester.
thing. Should we have a funeral scene here to lay in the backstory and set things up? Who's called Detective Thorn? While we're on the subject, by the way, because Anne can't.
Well, again, my original idea was that it might be, or that they'd kind of secured his services to find what they want them to find, i.e. that it was death by misadventure, which is probably what it would do anyway.
Oh, I see. So then maybe Anne could.
But then, since then, I've had a better one.
Okay. Yeah,
if we wanted to key in still to what you'd originally suggested, that he is somehow related to the family, he's called to the funeral by Aunt Marion.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
And Aunt Marion, he is a cop, he is a bent cop, but wants him to investigate this privately.
Yes. Okay.
That way we get around any question of jurisdiction or a conflict of interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think we should spin it out that he's not interested until after she dies.
Oh, that's even better. Oh, for God's sake, you're just on such a streak at the moment. Take it.
Yay! My other thought with this is that we may want to, because we've lost Richard right obviously before the film starts.
Yeah.
We may want to big up the role of Bill Atherton, because he'd be the next one who'd step up as the new CEO of the company.
Oh, of course he would. Yes.
Obviously, we'll still lose him throughout the proceedings, but at least we've still got...
At the beginning, you've got an authority figure to have around.
Exactly, and it allows us to at least keep tacitly as much of the setup, like the act structure of the original film without having to mess around with that too much.
Yeah.
Because as the new CEO of the company, it could be he's the one that Aunt Marion wants to have the meeting with.
Right, yes, that works, I think, yeah.
Because then you still get Charles there with them. And, I mean, again, Charlton Heston doesn't have to be there for that. Or he could be, because, he is a family member.
Well, no, if we say that he refused the job at the funeral, he shouldn't be there.
He shouldn't be there. Damn it. Because I thought of a way that would be a nice way of... Well, I think it was if he was at that meeting...
He would learn a lot of exposition really quickly.
Yeah, he would then leave when Marion leaves the room. Then we get to the cutaway with Charles showing them the slides, and it's as Thorn's leaving, he stops in to say goodbye before he leaves the house, just so that he can set up the slide with Joan Hart on it.
Unless Aunt Marion, being the stubborn little bird that she is, insists on inviting him to the dinner regardless of whether or not he's accepted the job as her dinner guest. Being the stubborn old buzzard that she is, she could force him into the situation.
He's family.
Because she doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Have one back.
Oh, thank you.
No, that works. That works really well.
Because we want to get him as much exposition, because it's going to be so hard for him.
Yes.
It's hard enough as it is.
I want to say that he turns up, he's probably wearing not the best suit in the world, but he's still got that little hat.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just thought it would be a nice way as well. Say he leaves the room at the same time that Aunt Marion does, or shortly after. They have a discussion. Then we cut to the scene of Charles showing them the slides. Thorn comes back in on his way out to say goodbye to them, just so that he gets to see the slide with Joan Hart on it.
Yes.
So at least we know that he knows about her.
Create a connection.
Yeah.
Create a connection. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I did think with the funeral scene itself, one of the things I did note down, we could throw in a kind of a callback to the church scene from the original Omen. So they're driving up. That may be the first time we see Damien driving up to the church in the hearse.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
There's something like that.
Oh, it's nice, and it's a callback to the original movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm starting to look at this, and I'm looking at, most of this is actually going to run on rails, or it's not. All the stuff with Damien is going to run on rails.
Yes, that's fine. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. It's only the stuff that's outside.
There is an argument that said, would they send them back so soon after, certainly Mark, after the death of his father? But I suppose... no, we can do it on that. They need to get back to normality. They need to keep their minds busy. So
absolutely, yes. It's certainly the school's attitude, because a military school is going to be like, the best thing for them is hard work. Of
course it is. Yeah, I did wonder if Thorn would be suspicious of Anne sooner. Whether it's just something like, you seem very extremely overprotective for two boys that aren't yours.
It's an interesting idea, but is it going to go anywhere? I mean,
I don't know. It might be.
I'm worried about accidentally triggering his suspicion too early.
Yeah, that's true.
Strike that. Reverse it.
Although he could certainly make comments about how calm and collected she is after such a terrible tragedy.
Yes, we could even have him say something like, marriage isn't a transaction.
Yeah. So we get the crow and goodbye, Marion.
Yep.
We get the stuff with Damien and the new platoon later.
Mm-hmm.
The bit with Buer and the agriculture project, that's where it starts to get awkward.
Yes, it does. It does. So I think then maybe what we need to do is decide how Richard Thorn died. We were assuming that... no, you said you wanted it to be from one of them, not from any kind of demonic agency. Dodgy brakes on the car or something?
Yes. Yeah. So something that's, believably an accident.
So that would put him on the track of wanting to speak to the chauffeur and things like that.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, we can still have those scenes in there because you've still got Atherton as the counterpoint, the counter argument to Paul's proposition, and he's now the new head of the company. So that stuff would still be the same. He'd be just trying to convince Bill Atherton of his agriculture project
Yes.
So those scenes could still play out, just minus Richard Thorn.
Yes, but we need to find a way to try and get Thorn onto the inside of that situation, or we're going to be losing a whole bunch of stuff.
And this is kind of unfortunately where I don't have a lot.
I'm not saying that we should have him right now and here wandering around the factory, but at some point he needs to be able to know about these things to start to put the pieces together. Because so much stuff is happening inside of the company, away from Damien, you know? Well, you've got that fiendish grin on your face. What is it?
Aunt Marion left me 20% shares in the company. She owns 27% of Thorn Industries.
Oh, of course.
And also of the Thorn Museum as well.
It's so intrusive, but yes. Yes. Yeah.
Suck it, Shane. Sorry.
God damn it, you're going to have such a...
That's what we're on, that's 6.
Good lord. On 4, I think.
She's worried, she's scared, she's paranoid enough that, she's going on about this, I'm going to leave all my will to charity, who's to say that she hasn't already changed her will and left everything to him.
Of course. Because I want somebody in the family who's responsible to be involved. And
yeah.
There's a great logic to it. Yeah. It works.
Maybe part of the reason why he feels obligated to her is because he is a bit of a dodgy cop. She made something go away in the past.
Because he's still a cop.
Yeah. Fantastic. So that gives him every right to be there.
Yes.
But again, it also raises the paranoia as well because, he's there. He's listening to all of this, but he's also there for other reasons as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm assuming that he's there to visit as a new owner, he's there to visit the facility. And whilst he's there, Bure and Bessarion get in their argument about the project.
Yes.
In front of him.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that we won't get... Well, no, that's it's after that, isn't it? Sorry, there's other stuff that happens. But I was thinking about when he meets Joan, but that's...
No, that's very soon.
That is very soon. Yes, because of course, because we cut back to
the boys have their confrontation outside the new platoon leader's office,
which will all go
and then Hart visits Thorn.
Yes. So maybe Thorn is at the offices to speak to Bill, and Bill's going to try to explain a bit more about what the company does and all this kind of thing. It's as he's coming out, he spots her. She's not looking for him.
Why would she not be looking for him? The old owner is dead, and she's an investigative reporter. Yeah, so she might not. So she's probably not looking for him. She's looking for maybe Bill as the new head of the company. Yes, but Thorn spots her, recognizes her from the from seeing the slide. Yeah, and then puts his I see. And then puts his cop head on and goes and, "What are you doing, just loitering around here?" Yeah. Okay, no, I like that because that gives Thorn more agency. Yeah. It gives Thorn a lot more agency. Yes, no, I agree. We still want him to give her a lift. He's going from there because if she's given him the shares in the museum as well, he's going down to the museum next. Ah, yes. So he can give her a lift to the museum, so that could then lead into the next scene with Charles and Anne at the museum. Okay, yes. And then he gets this rant about Damien and all this kind of thing. Which of course, cynical old Thorn. Yeah. Rubbish. Mm-hmm. So then again, we've got him present then at that scene with Charles and that. Yep. And then she runs off. And they just go, well, as you're here, let's show you around. Yeah. Yeah, again, there's nothing really that we can do with Anne at that point. But again, it may just be, even if it's just the camera just focuses on him, on his expression around her, so that the audience gets the suggestion that to him, everybody's a suspect. Yeah, of course. I suppose if we want to extend it and obviously have some more cop stuff in there, we could throw in a bit where he's talking to the guys, to forensics about what they discovered in the car and all of this kind of thing. Yeah. So we can keep a little bit more procedural stuff in there as well, so that so that we don't lose the cop element of it entirely. Yeah, no, of course not. Absolutely. And then it's going to run on rails from here. She goes to the academy, sees Damien, freaks out, and goes on a little drive and has a horrible ending. Which is something that, oh God, that was one of the things when I was a kid that just terrified the shit out of me. What, having your eyes pecked out? Yeah, that's one to give you nightmares. Yes. Definitely. And then getting run over by a 16-wheeler that appears from nowhere. Yeah. Although, even when I was a kid, I was like, why doesn't she fucking hear it? I thought she does, and that's the point. She's trying to get help. Oh, right. She hears the truck. I'm sorry, but if I've just been blinded and I hear a large truck, the last thing I'm going to do is move. She crawls up the ditch,
and she puts her hand out and she's like she's feeling for the tarmac.
Yes, but then she just keeps going.
That is true, and especially she's wearing a bright red coat. All she needs to do is stand up where she is.
Yeah, I know I'm overthinking things as viewers often do.
Yeah.
I mean, that even as a kid, there was a part of me that went, really? You hear a truck, all right, stand up on the spot and wave.
Don't run out in the middle of
Don't
the road.
run into the road. Don't deliberately seek the road when there's a truck coming.
But, as you quite rightly say, that does bring us swiftly to the end of Act 1.
Yeah, well, that was less messy than... Well, once again, you are on a fucking roll this month, I tell you, man. But you have saved this once again so far.
So far.
It's going to get extra messy later on.
It is. It is going to get extra messy, because...
Because at a certain point, it starts to stretch credulity.
Yeah.
At some of the places that Thorn needs to be for stuff to happen. But that's for another act and another day.
Thank God for that. Brilliant. I don't know about you, but I'm loving this one so far. Both of them have been really...
Yeah, it's working so far so good. Just having a really suspicious character from the beginning is like, there's a juggling act. You've got to give him reasons to be suspicious, but you can't make him too suspicious because he'll step over the line. And
at the same time, you've also got to try and sell him on the thing that you need him to believe in is so ludicrous.
Yes,
that it's even harder for a cynic to believe the truth.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. So we are going to have a think about this one again, and we will be back on Wednesday as always. Until then, have a great weekend, have a brilliant start to next week, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Ba 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 ba.